Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. Yeah, Josh, we just went live. But
that was way better, well orchestrated than last time.
Do you think that maybe? I thought you said just go, so that's why I just went.
Yeah.
I know.
Somebody just pulled the pin on the grenade and took off.
Is
what happened.
You were late. Wasn't it you? It was late.
It was me.
Not. It was me. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Hey, it's the only show I know you get paid to call in on. We need some callers. 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. Love to hear from you. Anything in the automobile world from that standpoint. So 316-462-3673. And as always, Josh, what's in that package?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We're going to use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking out the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner. So you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. You'll also receive complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go. So,
all right, 316-462-3673. That comes right to the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get patched in the podcast with your question. We'll get that package right out to you. Morning, Jeff. Morning, Delbert. And so welcome to the show, everybody. Josh, you got a picture hanging over here. I think that's probably what you want to talk about.
Well, yeah, I thought at some point we're gonna go over that. Got a couple different things that I thought we could talk about that happened this week in the shop, and seeing this number of vehicles that we do. Within a day.
We see a lot of things, don't we?
Yeah, we see a lot of things for sure. And very seldom have I run across much in this industry that I haven't seen some. Well, I don't even know that I'd say that, because you run into new stuff all the time. I will say I don't know any other industry that could be, I guess, as surprising as this one. I don't know. Do you feel that way too? Or, I mean, something will happen today. And it's like, wow, just when you thought you'd seen everything, here's this,
Here's this, and here we go, right?
Yeah. So, to say every day is different in this industry is I guess, cutting it a little short from that side. But yeah, this week, this show, we talk about preventative maintenance so much and how important it is. And with the amount of volumes of vehicles that we see in any given day, I cannot tell you countless the number of times that you can walk through the shop and think, hey, that could have been avoided by a little preventative maintenance, or that could have been avoided by a little preventative maintenance. And it's just, it's painful to see what some people have to spend to repair their vehicles when
they would have just done
a little maintenance. Yeah, a little maintenance would have went completely different way. I was talking with one of our employees today, and I think he might be listening because he's texting us now, but about his wife's vehicle and how she's going the distance on the oil minder light instead of the intervals. And he says, well, it's because she doesn't want to spend the money for the oil change. And I'm thinking, man, if you only knew what you're going to end up spending in the long run, it's crazy to think that, that you're maybe saving $1 here or there. But, I get it as a consumer. If you're not educated,
back to that commercial from years ago from Fram, pay me now or pay me later. Problem is, paying later is a lot more money than if you just did a little preventative maintenance. Right?
Yeah, very much so.
So anyway, before we get into your picture, Josh, I thought about a couple of things we got to talk about. Number one, it's hope everybody's ready for Thanksgiving and having a great day on next Thursday. But then Friday morning, 7 a.m. is our Black Friday sale kicking it off. Josh, we got those 10 cars. I'm telling you, I'm pumped about those 10 cars. We give these cars away. No, I shouldn't say give them. We sell them. We start at $99 to $999. Got to be in line by 7. I'd be in line by 6:45 if I was you. If you want to get a chance to get a number. And I had a couple of people comment, you got to be there by midnight. No, you don't. You just got to be in line by 6:45 to get a chance to get a number. We'll put them all in a sack, and we'll draw numbers out at first 10, and the first guy gets to pick. Remember to bring your driver's license and an insurance card with you, because we can't sell you the car without either one. We can't put a 60-day tag on that car and send you down the road from that part. But
I can't tell you how many times that's bit somebody in the past, for sure. And it's published on the rules, and I mean, it's not exclusive to these cars. It's just if you're purchasing a car in general. So
yeah. So anyway, the 10 cars, and then we'll come inside after that. After we get the 10 cars done, Lisa always has envelopes full of cash for more drawings of those same numbers that you might get. If you didn't get a chance to get a 10 car, you might get some other stuff. And then let's kick the sale off Black Friday and have fun. So
yeah, we've got the other thing, out of those 10 cars, I think this is probably maybe the widest array of stuff. Would you
Yeah, I think so.
be fair to say that? I mean, there's a couple of.
I think what happened is we went and started working 2 months ago to finding these cars, and we really got to hand pick them. Usually by right now, we're still short
Kinda
2 cars, and we're scrambling to find 2 cars that's going to match. But we did a lot earlier planning this year, and excited for that. So if you've never been involved out here, it's fun to be out here, even if you don't get a chance. But we'll unveil them about 5:30 on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be on the lot all day Thursday if you want to come by and check them out. And then 6:45 is where I'd be in line, and we will kick the sale off at 7 o'clock. Josh, you always go out to the end of the line and stop the line and start handing numbers going forward. So if you're here at 7:01, you're not going to get a number, that's for sure, from that part. So it's a fun time. You don't want to miss it, and see who the lucky 10 is going to be to drive away with those cars. And they've all been through the shop. They've all been mechanically sound. The brakes are great. The tires are great. Everything's safe and good from that part. And then they've been over to our auto spa, been through the detail shop, buffed and polished and ready to go. So they look really good. So excited for next Friday morning, 7 o'clock. It's going to be fun. Delbert wants that check in the background, Josh.
Oh,
yeah.
I was
there, but that goes to the Catholic Charities. Sorry, dude.
He can't even see the amount. I think it says they owe us money.
Yeah. So Delbert, you got a check for us, bud? Okay, so anyway, Josh, before we get into that deal, I think maybe another thing we ought to talk about a little bit too is everybody's been talking about what happened last Tuesday over at Kansas Fairgrounds, and we went over and in front of the fair board, and a lot of people over there wanting to keep that racetrack running over the Kansas State Fairgrounds, and I agree, I want to keep it going too. We made a proposal. The fair board has had that proposal since October the 31st, and so we got to present and go through a lot of things and stuff with the board, and now we got to go back and wait till next Tuesday to see what happens. So we're anxiously awaiting. I have had lots of conversations with lots of people and stuff like that, and the word is getting out that we're going to be promoting that track, and I just hope the fair board will give us that chance and give us the opportunity to do it. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide. They got a vote there on next Tuesday. There's 13 of them. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, how they vote, what they decide they want to do to keep that fair track racing and going. There's a lot of passionate people about it that want to keep that track over there. And I agree. I'm passionate about it too. I want to keep it going too, but I want to run it correctly. I want to run it like a business and helpfully get through a year and go back to the fair board and say, here's what we did. Here's how we did it. And here's how we're going to take on and go run year 2. From that part, a lot of discussion about track size, what we're going to do. And yes, I got to keep it. I don't have any money that it's going to take to move that thing to 3/8 for the first year. We first need to get the first year under our belt, see how things go and all that kind of stuff too. And then we can kind of decide if we do want to move it to 3/8 or not. There's a lot of discussion about that too. So anyway, exciting until next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We'll be back over in Hutch and let's see what happens.
It's just one of those things that it's going to be a learn as you go, or I guess see what works.
Yeah.
For sure.
So anyway, if you got any questions about that and want to talk about that on live,
sounded like there was quite a few people in attendance.
It was a packed house.
Deal. Yeah, which is good.
They had it over in the one of the bigger rooms over there at the Kansas State Fairgrounds, and it was a packed house. So that was good to see the support and everything else from that part too. So anyway, next Tuesday we'll find out. We'll see what happens. So okay. So next up, if you want to talk about that, fire it off, 316-462-3673. Love to take your questions, comments, whatever it might be about the Kansas State Fairgrounds racetrack. So Okay, Josh, what do you got over here?
So, again, going back to the kind of the preventative maintenance, this is a vehicle that came in. Well, it was towed in. I guess we can even start with that part of the conversation. It was towed in because it wouldn't move. But so this is a picture within the rear differential housing, and so if if you're listening, you definitely want to take a look at some photos that we have up here. But this is inside the rear differential housing of a pickup truck, and again, this thing it wouldn't go anywhere, wouldn't move. With your cursor, I don't know if you can kind of highlight, but
This cursor,
yeah, maybe. So I think if you put it on there, I think it will highlight it on here. So I don't think there you go. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Gotta go here, right? Can they see that?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to see you do that. So, but anyways, the carrier assembly right there, I've never seen.
It's just real small. See it?
Yeah, I've never seen a carrier
completely talk to Gus about how to make that bigger.
Completely crack in half like that. That is not supposed to be there. There's supposed to be that's supposed to be one solid chunk there. But there had to have been so many warning signs before we got to this point. That's, I guess, what I wanted to. Well,
let's kind of go through so everybody kind of realizes this pin here kind of goes all the way through. That's right there, and then this crack comes here to there. Then this is all gone. This should not. This whole piece should have this piece of metal in it right here. That's here.
And that crack, like it's completely in half. The carrier is now two pieces. It spins.
It spins freely in there,
completely freely, which is what. So
the truck kept moving, basically.
Yeah. And to start out with, like, okay, so first of all, it was clearly low on fluid, just because the amount of fluid in the differential, you can tell, like it wasn't completely empty, but it was running really low. But second thing, that very outer ring over here on the outside, so even further out than
right
that,
here.
yeah, that is the ABS reluctor wheel. And so basically there had to have been an ABS light, because there's no way that thing couldn't have been reading erratically to start out with. Yeah. Not to mention audible noise, just because of all the debris in there. There's chunks out of the ring gear.
You can kind of see them right there. They're missing.
Yeah, around.
And that's just because it's probably been flapping around inside there.
Yeah, around the outside. So it had to have had an ABS light. But they've drove this thing so far now that it even cracked the case. So there's a couple of other pictures. There's about 4 pictures in there. I think if you go to the middle of the screen on one edge or the other, it'll go so middle, and then all the way over in the black part, all the way over. Keep going. There you go. So now come back this way. Up. Well, yeah. Now come to this side. That must be this way. Yeah, there you go. And so, like I said, there's about 4 different pictures in there of just different.
And again, this whole chunk should not be missing. That should be a metal, just like this metal is right here. This should all be metal in there. So, even though the ABS light's on, that had to be making a heck of a noise.
Yeah. But we've, if you go, I think one over. Okay, so on that one, all the way over on the end there should be bolts coming in from the.
right here.
Yep, from the back side of the carrier.
Yeah, there should be a bolt right there. It's gone.
And above that, and then below it down there. And they're completely out of it. But those bolts coming out now, they're slinging around in the case. It actually cracked the case completely. So there's
let's talk about the case. That's the outside piece here. Everybody kind of knowing what this houses inside the case that you see when you normally look at a car. That's cracked now too.
And so we went from I'm assuming probably initially, and this is just all the debris and stuff down at the bottom of that.
We got a fuel jug up there, Josh.
Yeah, down on the bottom of that.
You can kind of see it right here.
Mm-hmm.
The debris and stuff is laying down in there.
And so we went from, I don't know, maybe to start out with, it was leaking fluid out of the front of the pinion. So I don't know if that's initially what caused it, and low fluid, and then it started getting hot, and then bearings started, separating or coming apart and sending metal debris throughout it. But I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of miles of, I guess, neglect to neglect to the vehicle talking to you and saying, hey, this is an issue, or this is an issue, or this is an issue, to be able to get this far.
What was this in again?
So it's in a Super Duty. Yeah, it was in a Super Duty. It's going to be I think it was a 2012 F-250 is what this thing was in. And I'm sure probably what it was is, being a work truck, it was downtime. They didn't want the truck to be down, but now it's had to have been towed in instead of brought in for maintenance or drove in for maintenance. The amount of time that it would have took to fix a leak, service a differential, would have been at their own convenience, I guess, or the most convenient time. And the amount of downtime would have been way less. I mean, now you're talking a complete differential assembly. Like, there's nothing in this deal that is salvageable at all.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Remember how many miles are on the truck?
It's got, I think it's got like 135,000 miles on it, if I remember right. Now, I will say that it does look like they're harder miles, but
Super Duty is supposed to be hard. I'm going to throw another thing. I'm going to make somebody mad or whatever, but you said it was a company truck?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if the owner was driving the truck. I doubt it.
No, yeah, as a company, no, not at all.
That's what I'm saying. So the person driving the truck would have known that was going on, should have said something to the owner or whoever the supervisor was, that, hey, this truck's making a noise, or, hey, I've got an ABS light on. So let's go back to that for a minute. An ABS light is probably the first thing that started this issue, is what I bet for.
Or the other thing I was thinking is just a warning sign of like fluid on the ground, from a differential or a pinion seal leaking. That if a person would have noticed something like that, or let's say it wasn't really leaking, it was substantially low on fluid from that side, so it had leaked quite a bit of fluid out. But even through, I don't know, preventative maintenance wise, where are we doing that? And when they're doing that, are they doing visual inspections, on it? Because you'd think even if you serviced it every 5,000 miles, someone would have seen a leak. Yeah.
So go back to, let's say that the ABS light was the first thing.
Okay.
And it's a light, and we all talk about these lights. We just kind of go and go and go. If the ABS light was the first thing to come on because that ring doing what it did, but again, I think that, look at the amount of dollars it could have saved if when that light come on, if they would have stopped and got it serviced.
Yeah, I mean,
basically, probably what happened here is it started leaking, and it just ran low on fluid.
And
is what I bet. And
then everything got hot.
Got hot, yeah.
Yep, and started wearing prematurely, and and this is from a failure standpoint. Like, I guess the point that I'm mainly trying to get across is there are so many miles that this thing has been driven with several warning signs of, hey, something's not right. Hey, something's not right. And then to drive it to the point that it just quit is going to be expensive.
Yep, could have been saving a lot of dollars, that's for sure. So anyway, got a caller coming in, Josh?
Yeah, we do. We got a caller coming through here. We'll get him patched through and see what's going on with Delbert this morning. So,
okay, we'll get Delbert on the line here real quick and see what else we got. Jeff says it must be a Dodge Ram. Laugh out loud. Well, it could be a Dodge Ram, but I don't care what truck you got. When you're running out of fluid, it's going to do this no matter what. But again, back to preventative maintenance, a little bit of money spent earlier. I'd like to see, go back and see when it was, if maybe we didn't service or whatever, see when it was last serviced.
Yeah. A couple of other things that I've got, and I now wish I would have got pictures of it, but I had two engines specifically this week that came in, and both of them had holes in the side of their block. And we go back and look at maintenance records or ask for maintenance records, and
don't have
them. It just blows me away. So, hey, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Delbert. Delbert, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Yeah, somehow it sent me to voicemail instead of to you guys. I don't know what happened there, but
we've got you now. Thanks for
no, right? I called right back. The check, I was going to give it to the company it goes to.
Oh, that's what it was. I get it. Yeah, you just wanted to be the delivery person, right?
I did. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
On behalf of Mel Hambelton Ford, giving all that money back. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So that was going to the charities,
Catholic charities.
Yeah, Catholic charities. That was
Catholic
from our
charities. Yeah, they're great charities.
Yeah, that was from. I believe that money was raised for Girls' Night Out.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. That's an old check, Tim.
September 15th.
Looks like, yeah.
I think that's when we finally got everything dialed in. Was when we can actually, that date is when we presented the check to them.
Yeah,
I think is what that was.
Yeah.
So another good fun event we do here at Mel Hambelton Ford, the Girls' Night Out event, and raise all that money for Catholic charities. But I'm sure that's what that was for. Even though it's September 15th,
Yep.
I know that's when I think that's the date that got presented all the money. When next time you get everybody together.
Well, those are some awesome pictures of that rear end differential, man.
Man, isn't it?
I say awesome in a sense of terrible person.
Well,
to do
yeah.
that to a vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. Pay me now or pay me later. And,
yeah.
Just a
People
little.
don't realize what lack of maintenance will do. I mean, I just changed I found a dealer here because the other dealer I normally use here was too busy to get me in. And so I went to a different dealer, Ford dealer, and they don't do MOA. I'm like, what? Who doesn't do BG products for Ford? You guys need to get back on the table here and get that going, or you'll lose me as a customer.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That MOA is a great product, especially for preventative maintenance. And for those you don't know,
over to Metro.
Yeah, motor oil additive is an additive we put in on top of the oil change. And basically, how you look at MOA is as you put your new fresh oil in your car, as you start driving the oil, about 2,000 miles is about where it's at. The oil starts to break down a little bit at a time. And then by the time you hit the 5,000 mark, it's wore out a little bit more and more. MOA is put in there to keep that protection level at 100% all the way across the 5,000 miles is what it's doing, not letting that oil break down. It's just another additive package to give the oil a little bit more boost to last longer for that, but does not increase your maintenance interval if you put MOA in. It just does not. It's just a better way of protecting your motor and making it have good protective oil in there for the whole life for the 5,000 miles.
But I will say, if somebody forgets and says, "Oh, I'm at the 5,000, I need to make that appointment," that extra 400, 500, 600 miles isn't going to hurt your engine if you get to that appointment time. So, I mean, I wanted to mention that as well, because sometimes you can't get in when you need to get in at that $5,000 mile. Well, I got money on the mind today, apparently.
And that is very true. Very true. Oh, and I got another example I can give you too about the doing the GDI service. This had happened to me yesterday. Same kind of a deal with the MOA is put in after the oil change, but then if you've for some reason went too long on an oil change or did something and that sort of thing with the low friction rings we have on our pistons today, the carbon will build very quickly, and those low friction rings will basically freeze,
kind of stick.
Yeah. So you put this additive in the oil before you change it, run it for 15, 20 minutes. So it kind of flushes all that carbon and stuff out of there. And we traded for the Explorer, but he told me that he kept having an issue on startup of smoking. And the other time he'd have a problem with it, it would be like, say he would drop the wife off at Dillon's and she would run in and get something for 4 or 5 minutes, and he'd sit in the car 4 or 5 minutes and he would leave, it'd smoke again. So they did all kinds of stuff. There's bulletins about a PCV valve and different things, but nothing ever really seemed to fix. But it was never consistent when it would do it. Did the GDI oil service to it? Guess what happened? Hasn't done it since.
Went
away. So basically, them rings were.
Or it'll come back eventually, but
yeah, eventually if you don't keep that oil change and stuff too. So that GDI oil service just went in and cleaned those rings back up, made it so where it would move, the rings could seal again, and off we went. And I mean, that's another thing. I mean, we still get people after we do that GDI oil service, and we'll call back and say, "My God, my power is more. I'm picking up 3 to 4 miles per gallon better, and all that kind of stuff." And I will tell you, we had a vehicle over at BG the other day. They took over. I think I said this on a couple shows or whatever, but the car had 64 miles on it. They went ahead and put a borescope down there just to look at it. It was already starting to build carbon deposits at 60 miles. So
that's crazy. Yeah,
it is crazy. Crazy.
That dealership I went to has a BG. I'm not sure what the building is, but there's a BG products building close to it, and they still don't use the product. I'm like, why would you not? I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
Just doesn't make any sense. But,
I get it. I get it 100% for sure. So,
but yeah, there's that, and you guys just you're not giving anything away on these cars you got. So I mean, you're doing a heck of a job keeping that secret. But we want to pry that out of you somehow today if we can. Give us some hints.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So if you're not using BG products in your vehicle, you can really help yourself a lot and save your preventative maintenance a lot, and save you money down the road and get many more miles out of these cars and stuff like that too. If you're not, it's okay. Just make sure you're keeping that oil at 5,000 miles. That's for sure. Oh, and I'll let the screen go. Oh, look at that. I got it back real quick. So
here's an issue that my daughter had with it was a rental Ford F-150, and the TPMS light would come on one of the wheels, and it was below 29. It was actually at 28 PSI, so I told her to put some air in it and drive it for a little bit, and it still wouldn't go off after 2 days of it. So they figured they've got a bad TPMS sensor in there. It's reading it, but it's not taking the light out.
Yeah, so it's not getting synced back to the computer is what's not happening.
Right. So
from that part,
they put that back in to get that adjusted. But it's like, yeah, it should have went off by now.
Should have. That's right. Or the next thing is maybe they didn't sync it correctly. That might be another issue they might have had with it too. Not getting it synced.
It was 2020. Was it 2022? I think it was a rental vehicle. It was 2022. So who knows what they did to it? Maybe when they may have unsynced it when they did a rotation or something. Who knows? I'm sure they still rotate their tires on those things once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Those rental car companies are getting pretty. I used to purchase a few of those, and I don't anymore just because they're coming in now. They've had to go so much longer. Used to they trade them at, sell them at 40,000. Now they got 70, 80, 90,000 miles on them. They're just too rough for me. I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's just the way people treat those cars. And what happens to them, but go instead of 40,000, now we're going double the amount of miles, a double amount of renters, a double amount of people in and out of those cars. And they're just pretty rough. And I just don't feel good about trying to push those.
The old saying goes, drive it like you stole it. It's not yours. So
that's exactly
why I wouldn't buy one either. That's the main reason. I mean, it was originally they were going like 20 to 30,000 in selling them. And then, like you said, they went up to 40 and 50. And now they're probably cutting closer to 100,000 miles when they sell these. And part of that is after the COVID, during COVID, they sold all their vehicles so they could stay in business basically and sold them at a loss. And then they still didn't get vehicles back because of the situation with shipping and the chips and everything else that went on, and still going on a little bit today. But one of the things that, I noticed you guys, one of your salesmen, you know who I'm talking about, the redneck guy. Anyway, he posts a lot of cars that you guys get in. And there was a blue Maverick that came in, a hybrid.
Yep.
I don't know if that thing's still around, but that was the problem with that for me is just a little bit too small for what I do. I like it. It's just a little bit too small for what I do. So I'm hoping.
Have you been in a Maverick?
Yeah, when they first came out, I was actually at your dealership and I went in there and looked at a couple of them. But they were just too small for what I do because they're roomy, but like ride share is kind of, you need some room in the back, and when you put the seats back too far, they don't have any room for the legs. So the Fusion's great for what I do, but it's going to need to be replaced eventually. So I'm hoping that Ford comes out with another hybrid in here in the next year.
Escape, so baby. Escape hybrid, Rich, is what I'm leaning you towards.
Yeah.
Which one?
The Escape hybrid.
Yeah.
Oh, the Escape, yeah. But again, they made the Escape smaller from the previous body style.
I know the new one's got quite a bit of room in it. You need to look at next time you're here. You need to look at an Escape and see what you think.
Well, I'm thinking about coming in on Thursday or Friday morning.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll make it in time. So, but you guys will be busy for a while, so it'll be after all that. But we'll see. I haven't decided if I'm going to make it or not because I don't know that I have. If I do happen to get one of the higher end cars, I don't have enough money to pay for it right now. So.
Well, yeah, I get that. Yeah,
So,
I get it. So, well, okay, buddy.
well,
Delbert,
I just wanted to
keep in touch.
give you guys some thoughts,
come back
food for
here.
thought, and
Yeah.
get some movement on in, and we'll see you guys hopefully on Friday morning.
Come Friday, we'll
Everybody
put you
else, get over there to Mel Hambelton Ford, get your appointments in, get your oils changed, get your tires rotated. All this show, they'll give you the BG products and your tire rotation, whatever you need for your car. They'll back you up and get you going.
Sounds good, buddy. Delbert, we'll
You
see
guys
you.
have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you Friday, buddy. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. 316-462-3673. Anything you want to talk about in the automobile world? You want to talk about, hey, the Black Friday? You want to talk about the Kansas State racetrack over in Hutch? Whatever it is you want to talk about and get that great price package about over $130 for each and every caller. 316-462-3673. So anyway, Josh, that's anything else exciting in the shop? Well, I guess the thing we haven't left off with, what are you going for Black Friday in the service department?
So we're going to have the first 10 people at the Quick Lane facility will have 99-cent oil changes.
How many?
First 10.
99 cents.
99 cents.
I'm
not even sure where the 99 cent come from. I think
because the $99 car, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe we should do 99 cents, then like $1.99, then $2.99. We'll just do 99 cents. How about that? That'll be way easier to keep track of. It'll be mayhem otherwise.
I get it.
So first 10 people into the Quick Lane will get a 99-cent oil change, and then in addition to that, got some huge rebates on some tires as well. So there's some cash rebates. It's $100 on a set of 4, but then you get additional funds if you put that back onto your Ford Pass rewards instead of taking the cash incentive or the rebate for that.
So get how many points?
So it's 40,000 Ford Pass points is what if you take the Ford Pass rewards on those, and then not to mention, I mean, you get the Ford Pass rewards for the purchase of the tires, or that you spend, whether it was tires or any mechanical repair or any service, you get rewards back on that. It's about 5% of the total purchase. So, which can be a pretty good savings for sure. A lot of people bank that up and save it for a larger repair later.
Let's talk about Ford Pass points. How it works, what goes on there. Josh, we haven't talked about that in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. So for every new car purchase, you get basically, they say the first 2 years of maintenance is what it's what it's designed for. But again, you don't have to use it for that. Some people use it for an accessory on a vehicle. The other thing is, if you purchase a certified pre-owned vehicle, Ford also gives you some initial Ford Pass points to get you started there. But basically, that goes into your individual account. It can be used for any part, service, or vehicle purchase. So if you wanted to bank them up and save it for a down payment on a vehicle, there's people that do that. There's some people that use it every time and cash it in on every purchase that they make, just to get a little discount on everything they do. And there's some people that save it up for a larger repair, brakes or tires or something along those lines. But it's pretty nice to have a service done and not have to pay for it, for sure. So
exactly,
it's something that you as a consumer, you don't have to do anything. You as far as get the app and with the Ford vehicle and the Ford Pass connected modems and stuff like that. That's something that we've Ford has really came a long way with, and there's a lot of great features to a consumer to be able to have that. Obviously, as far as the remote start and unlock and stuff like that. But
the app does so much.
From the benefit of connecting a consumer with the dealer, and for us to be able to look at your vehicle, and if you're traveling down the road and your check engine light comes on, and we can get on there and identify, hey, what that check engine light, what the code is, at least to to be able to tell you, hey, you're out on vacation in the middle of nowhere, and do I need to have this looked at right now, or is this something that
I can't tell how many times we've used that.
It's
that
and
side
then
of the
from the service side, and I don't think a lot of people understand this or know this too, but if how many times do you go to the doctor after you've not felt very well, and you get there and you're checking in to go see him, and it's like, man, I feel fine now. Why am I even here? What's what I wish I maybe wouldn't have wasted my time to get here, but can't tell you how many situations where we've been in where we've set an appointment for somebody and then they show up for their appointment or don't even go to their appointment because everything's fine. Now the light's off or whatever. But I assure you it's going to come back on. But where I guess I'm headed with that is with the connected modems, we're able to see, in a calendar display of what was happening with that vehicle. So if the light was on, we're able to determine, what codes it had at that time, and to be able to have that historical data is huge in Naden and trying to fix these cars.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we can tell the customer, can you keep driving? You need to find a store down there, wherever you're at or whatever from that part. But where I was going this just the other day as a Sunday morning salesperson saying, hey, can you dial in the system and get an unlock code for this customer's expedition?
Yeah.
And I said, what about Ford Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, golly, forgot about that. Guess what? Called the customer back. Customer forgot about it too, that you can unlock your car from anywhere you got an internet connection. You can use Ford Pass and unlock your car, or you can lock it. If you forget to lock it, you can unlock it. You can track it. You can tire pressures, all the good things you can see with that
the
Ford
fuel
Pass
level,
fuel level, exactly. From that part, or you want to start that thing from anywhere you want. You want to unlock it, let somebody get in it.
I will tell you, I've had my wife, I believe I've seen her use that on multiple occasions, on a Sunday night or something, being like, oh crap, do I have enough gas to get to work in the morning, and pull it up and, just make sure that she don't have to get up that extra 5 minutes early to go get fuel. But you know how that goes.
Sure do.
So,
all right, got a caller coming in.
Yeah, we do. We're going to get another caller patch through, so we'll get him on the line and see what they have going on this morning. So,
see what Evan's got up his sleeve, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's keep the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. We'll get Evan patched. God, I can't even spit it out, Josh. Patched through here real quick and see what question he's got or comment or whatever it might be. Another thing, Mike Sheridan thinks he's going to go get some Super Soakers for the toy drive. December 2nd is our toy drive. I mean, want to go up on the roof, Josh? So,
well, I don't know. I mean, he can, I guess, go get them. But if
he thinks he's going to spray me setting up on top of that roof, he's got another thing coming.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe he's just getting some Super Soakers as a gift, to put in the toy drive.
Oh, for the
I hope that's what he's meaning.
For if history has anything to do with itself, you'll be up there in a lawn chair and one of those sunscreen things, suntanning. Because I don't think you've really picked a bad day of weather.
I've had a couple. I've had a couple bad days.
I don't remember them.
Well, trust me. Bill even remembers them.
Well, I guess I would say for all in all, and for what the event's for, we've been very, very fortunate on weather on that side of things.
It's called good, clean living, Josh. Good. Wonder what happened to Evan. We can't get Evan patched through here real quick, see what's going on with Evans real quick and everything else too. But yeah, the toy drive, December 2nd, we'll go up on the roof till we fill up 5 F-150s. You can't get here on December 2nd. We'll have trucks on the showroom. You can bring them in early or whatever from that part. So it's always fun to get up there on that roof and everybody bringing the gifts in and stuff like that. And guess Santa's going to be here again. So
Santa.
You got Santa on his lap, Josh?
Yeah, no.
Tell him what you want for Christmas.
There we go. I think we got him now. So let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Evan. Evan, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Going good.
Good. Hey, I've got a 2020 Escape, and I was reading through the owner's manual at the kind of maintenance schedule, and it said that the brake fluid has to be changed every 3 years. Like it has to be done in service. And it's coming up on 3 years, and I was just kind of like interested in what's the new. I feel like in the older cars, they didn't have to do that like that regularly.
Well, let's talk about that, Evan, because You're right. It's not been in the owner's manual till here the last few years or whatever, because the manufacturers have figured that out, that keeping good fluid in the ABS system and stuff like that too helps these brakes last longer. Not the brake pads, but these solenoids and all that kind of stuff too. But also, brake fluid is very acceptable to absorbing moisture. And you get that,
really?
you get the moisture in the lines or get whatever. That's when corrosion starts, rust starts happening, and all that kind of stuff. But we have a simple test strip that we can actually test the brake fluid and tell if it's time to be replaced or not.
Okay, cool.
And I'm with you. Years ago, we never even thought about changing the brake fluid or whatever from that part. But just keeping good, clean fluid in it makes all the difference in the world. And I'll even go a little step further, because with Jake's and I's race car, I use the test strips in it too. And it's amazing how quickly we are flushing that fluid, just because of the extra amount of heat that car generates. You don't generate that kind of heat in a passenger car like you do in a race car and that kind of thing too. But that heat also breaks down the fluid in the calipers and all that kind of stuff too, that you got to get flushed out of it. We got a simple system. It does it very easy. The other thing is, most manufacturers come out with a .3 fluid, and the fluid we will put back in on the brake flush will be a .4. And what's that mean to you is it's less acceptable to accepting moisture, but it still does, but it's not as much. But it's also raises the heat that it can withstand too under those extreme conditions and stuff. And brake fade, you don't really know too much about brake fade anymore, but it's still there. Your ABS system is overcompensating for it. And so if you keep a good fluid in there where your pedal's good and solid, it's just seconds, milliseconds or whatever, that can save you from an accident or that kind of thing too. But I'm glad the manufacturers are finally putting it in their recommendations, that what they say. But again, everybody's driving habits are different, and we just need to, every time you come in for a service, we just need to take a little test strip, test the fluid, and see how it's doing.
Yeah, definitely important to kind of stay on top of that. I didn't even realize every 3 years, but yeah.
The brake fluid
Somebody
service.
still there?
Yeah, sorry. The brake fluid service for the aftermarket companies, or not aftermarket companies, foreign manufacturers. That's something that they've had for a lot of years. You get in. It started out really with higher end cars, for sure, but then you just seen more and more manufacturers adopt that service interval, and to the point of what the expense of some of these ABS modules are and stuff like that. They are expensive, but for me, it's not so much about the wear and tear on the components for the service interval. It's about the safety aspect and being able to have that fresh fluid and not have brake fade, and being able to have the best brakes possible, because when are you going to need the brakes? When it's most important to have brakes.
Right. Yeah.
From that side. And so there's nothing out there that says that if you don't do a brake fluid service, like it's not that the vehicle's not going to stop. It's just not going to perform at the best of its ability.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we first started doing brake flushes, I started doing brake flushes probably, I don't know, 20 years ago, probably. But we just kind of recommended that brake fluid flush when we did brake pads, kind of the same time you got to push the pistons back and change the fluid at the same time. But now we're finding out now that some of these cars can go 100,000 miles before they have to put brakes on. So that interval doesn't work anymore. So that's why the test strip has come up with, it's kind of like testing the coolant and your pH level of your coolant. Same kind of deal. Just stick it in there, give a little signal to tell you kind of where you're at and if it's time to change that fluid or not time to change the fluid and stuff too. So great safety feature for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Exactly. So let's we'll get your brake fluid tested. Let's see where you're at. You're about 3 years old, you said, so it'd be a great time to give us a little test, and we'll find out.
Yep. All righty. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for the info, guys.
Hey, thanks for calling, buddy. Okay, just a few minutes left on the show, Josh. Anything else you got to cover real quick before we kind of...
Yeah, we got one more caller on the line. Hopefully,
okay.
he kind of hung out with us for a little bit, so hopefully he's still here. We'll get him patched through.
Patched through here real quick.
Had a lot of great topics or discussion of preventative maintenance, and man, I just can't express enough that how much value there is in that, and it's so hard to quantify. Because I just from the years of experience in the industry, like I cannot express how important preventative maintenance is.
Agree with you 100%. 100%.
Or don't do preventative maintenance and
pay a bigger
pay bigger bills
pay
and
a bigger bill.
And the inconvenience side of things of the car being broke versus being just down for preventative maintenance when you choose. That's definitely always an option for sure.
It sure is. Okay, here he comes.
Yep, we'll go to the phone here. Let's talk to Greg. Greg, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys today?
Doing great.
Good. I was listening to the show on getting ready to go to the KU K-State game, and
is that today?
I
forgot it is today, isn't it? That's gonna be
it's tonight at 6.
No, it's tonight at 6. So okay, cool. Well, that's gonna be
So,
interesting to see who wins that one.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I'm kind of excited. First time I've ever been to KU
cool.
versus K-State.
Cool.
But you guys mentioned the thing about being able to see how much fuel's in the vehicle via the Ford Pass app. And a few years ago, my daughter was driving a Ford EcoSport, and literally I knew she was having a flat tire before she knew she was having a flat tire. She was driving out of town, and I got a notification there was a low tire, and I started to call her, and she goes, "How did you never call me?" And I said, "Well, you got a low tire."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Actually, Dad, it's flat." And I said, "Okay, well, those EcoSports don't come with spares." But I knew right what it's in the tow truck, and
I knew right where she was at too, right?
Yep. It's, I don't think you can underscore that enough when you're talking about putting young drivers, and especially drive other places, but anywhere. We get used to this idea from years ago that if you break down, people will stop and they'll help you. No, they don't. They don't anymore because everybody has cell phones, and I don't know. I don't want my daughter out on the highway with a flat tire. So
sure.
If I know where she's at, anyway.
Yeah, I get it. It's the safety factor behind that, and look at just safety. I mean, it's the best part of all is that situation. But I tell you, I love the tire pressure monitoring system. Every car I get in, I'm first thing I'm trying to find out, make sure my tire's right before I take off.
Where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know. You mentioned a couple weeks ago about somebody calling in about, or somebody came in to test drive one, and they were concerned about, we could keep the damaged one that was hail damaged.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, but those new ones have so much more technology. Each one does. So.
I agree with you. Every year they keep improving these vehicles, and I can't believe that. And I think it was like 17 and the F-150. I said, I don't know how much better they can make these trucks, but I tell you, these 23s are they just keep doing it every year. And the safety thing, you're right. The manufacturers keep learning how to make them better and safer, and all the tech things they're putting in there. It's almost too safe to drive anymore. From that part. But if you do get involved in a collision, is how that car protects you in that car inside the cabin, and what the airbags do, how the crumple zones work, all that kind of stuff. Even the ABS, just to stop you quicker in less distance.
Yep. Well, that pre-collision stuff, it primes the brakes. Time you step on it, they're really ready to grab. So.
Oh, yeah. Pedal's firm. It's solid for you, and you're going to get stopped. And I don't know. I've never been in a panic situation. Need to use my brakes. Have you, Josh?
Just
a few times.
Yeah, maybe once or twice, but
yeah, just a few times, right? So, well, cool. I'm glad that it worked out great for your daughter, and you knowing where she's at, getting her safe. And another prime example where you need Ford Pass hooked up and ready to go.
Yep, that's the thing. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too,
buddy. Thanks for the call. All right, just a few minutes left. Let's do a little recap, Josh. Yep. It's Black Friday next Friday morning coming up. Be in line by 7 o'clock. I'd be in line by 6:45. We'll give everybody a number. We'll bring out the 10 cars on Wednesday at about 5:30, and they're priced at $99 to all the way to $999, and they're great cars. Great cars.
Hey, this is.
I can tell this is going to.
Are you ready? You got Christmas lights up yet?
No.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
All right. I was harassing somebody last night about it. Up and on.
I still think.
I said you're crowding Thanksgiving. Like, give Thanksgiving
you turn your Christmas lights on Thanksgiving night. That's how I've always. Okay. That's how I've always done it.
So they're up. They're just not on.
No.
Oh,
I don't think they're up yet. I don't think they're up yet.
Okay.
I'm not getting up.
If they were up, would Mary have them on?
Nope. I'm not letting her.
Well, Okay, take you out of the
Thursday
equation.
night,
All
they
right,
go on.
all right.
Trust me, we've had the discussion.
Yeah.
Not just once, not just
All
twice.
right. I'm right there with
We've
you.
also had the same discussion of how many to put on.
Oh, well, that you got to go all out.
I did last year. I'm not doing it
Did
this
you?
year.
You're
yeah.
not?
Oh God, yeah, we went all out. Front, back, upside down,
Griswold?
inside out. We're damn near. Electric chemical call me and says, your electricity's going pretty fast. You okay?
You can't put up enough Christmas lights.
I had enough.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this year, I'm putting lights up, yes, because I do think it's cool.
Yeah.
I do love the lights and all that kind of stuff too from that part. But yeah, I think the Christmas lights crucify me for it, but I think they need to come on.
Agree.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
night.
no, I agree. You can't crowd Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, boy, that derailed.
Did it? Yeah, I sure did. So anyway, Black Friday, don't miss it. After we sell the 10 cars, then we'll come inside. At least we'll have all kinds of drawings and surprises and stuff there too. Lots of cash. I know that for one thing. And then everybody that purchases the car that day on Black Friday will get a prize. Draw for all kinds of neat things. We'll have TVs, all kinds of stuff going on here to be given away. So you don't want to miss it. It's the best Black Friday ever. Everybody's tried to copy us and just can't do it, can they, Josh?
No.
So don't miss it next Black Friday. And December 2nd, I'll go back up on the roof for the toy drives. That's another thing. And we'll find out next Tuesday if we're going to be the track promoter at the Kansas State Fairgrounds for 2024. And I hope they approve us. I hope we get ready to go. Got a lot of exciting stuff I didn't even bring to the plate.
Yeah.
Because I can't bring it to the plate unless I know I got to get the track.
Place
Once
to
we get
do
the track,
yeah.
I got so many more exciting things that to bring up for the racetrack and stuff like that too. So let's see. Hopefully the fair board's pumped and ready to go, and we'll get an approval next Tuesday around 5 o'clock. So anyway, everybody have a great Saturday. Stay safe. And we'll talk to you next Saturday, 9 o'clock. Hopefully it's 9 o'clock, not 9:01 or 9:02.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see everybody next Saturday.